We doing what we can. Hey, Mama Blockbuster just checked in.
All right.
She said hi, guys.
Hey.
But hey, you know, we here, folks. We just here to hang out, man. This is the first classes of Cinematics Live. So
Yeah.
me and Bobby Blockbuster, we're going to be talking about some film news. We got some trailer stuff to talk about, and as well as what we've been watching, you know what I'm saying? And then we're probably going to end with us, you know, giving you guys a couple of recommendations of some classics that you should check out, you know? So, you know, without further ado, let me let this thing load up real quick so we can get into it. But, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah, always good. How are you doing?
Oh, okay. She said she didn't hear anything from a bathroom break.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe I was out of microphone range. You know, we got these fancy wireless doohickeys, you know. But let me get into our first news story. So, you know, we got some stuff to talk about concerning film world and film land. And, yeah. So this is kind of interesting, man. So for you physical media folks and folks that have a hard time looking for classic films, you know, that you want to add to your collection, either physically or digitally, because I think this deal covers both of that. But there's been 156 films from the Golden Princess Company that have been acquired by Shout Factory.
Yeah.
So this is good news, man, because a lot of these films, they're not even available to stream. You can't buy them digitally. A lot of them are out of print, you know, so if you're trying to get a copy of them, you're going to have to buy an overpriced, you know, used DVD. And these were mostly 156 Hong Kong cinema classics that have been missing from Western markets for decades, you know. And a lot of these are some genre-defining works from film legends like John Woo, Sui Hark, starring Chow Yun-fat, Tony Leung, and Leslie Chung. So some of the more higher profile films are going to be Hard Boiled, The Killer, the complete Better Tomorrow trilogy. I didn't know they did 3 of them.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
As well as City on Fire. I remember I had that on VHS back in the day, dude. That's probably worth money now if I still had it. Prison on Fire is sequel. Eric Tsang's Aces Go Places, Sui's Peking Awkward Blues. Tony Ching's Chinese Ghost Story. That's one that a lot of people recommend. Just a really crazy, bizarre film. As well as Peace Hotel, The Big Heat. Now You See It, Now You Don't. So, but like I said, there's 156 films in all, you know, being added to this in this acquisition. So these films are going to be available, and hopefully because they've got the physical deal, that we'll start being able to even own these digitally or being able to stream them, you know?
Well, that's the thing, because with Shout Factory, you can't go wrong. Especially if they start dropping physical media.
Yeah.
Dude, because they don't just give you the Blu-ray, they give you all the extras too. Like you'll get different slip covers and posters, and sometimes they'll even add on like a NECA figure or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm all
dope.
for it, man.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
This
man.
is a good platform for the Golden Princess to springboard off of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope, man. Other news we've got here is we've got an actual release date for this highly anticipated film, man. So we haven't heard any news about this, I think, since a small screening at a film festival. But we're going to be talking about the Toxic Avenger reboot.
Yeah, man.
So they say it's coming to theaters now in 2025. There's going to be a physical release, and you're going to be able to get this thing digitally. So this is an announcement by Cineverse. So apparently it got screened, I think, 2 years ago at a film festival, and you know, they've been trying to get a distributor since then. So we finally got a distributor. We don't have an exact date on it, you know, but I'm thinking maybe summer, fall, we could see this thing.
Definitely.
But it's directed by Macon Blair. It stars Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger, I believe.
Is he gonna be the Toxic Avenger?
I think so, bro. I think he might be the main guy in this, or maybe, I don't know. He's definitely the main star in this thing, man. You know, that's what they're
leading us to
leading this thing too. But it also has some other players in this too, man. But Tromaville is definitely behind this. You know, they've been involved in getting this done. So yeah. Dinklage stars as downtrodden janitor Winston Goose, who, after a freak accident, transforms into a mutant vigilante known as Toxie. You know, and that's pretty much the Toxie story. So this film stars also Kevin Bacon's in this, Elijah Wood, Jacob Tremblay, and Julia Davis and Taylor Page. So that cast alone has me excited, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
what do you think about this thing, man?
Well, I was a fan of the original, so I mean, I think that them giving us another reimagination of it, because I mean, I like the hyper reality, and plus in the time set, I mean, this was coming out when like films like Class of Nukem High and shit like that, where you get those remember like the Goon Squad and all those movies, they were just like these weird looking weird punk looking dudes and stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? Or even like more recently, like something like Hobo with a Shotgun. He's all in that same vein. So I think, man, giving us another Toxic Avenger, because the thing of it is when Toxic Avenger, when it first started off, it was great, the first, second one, but then it started to kind of spiral downward.
Yeah, a lot of sequels kind of lose their energy.
It lost its luster. Remember they had the cartoon?
Yeah.
Crusaders?
I remember that. Toxic Crusaders.
I had the one action figure, had a big ass nose, and if you squeeze his legs and like snot would come out of his nose, like slime.
That is wild. But I am anticipating this, man. I just hope it's decent, because I mean, in all honesty, I don't think the original is a great film. It's a fun film, definitely. Revolutionary. I just hope like some kid on a bike gets hit by a car and gets his head ran over. That'd be really dope if they recreate that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the people in this film will be scoring points, and I'm curious to see, like, is it going to be set in like a past time period, or is it going to be set in a modern world, which could make some interesting changes to it. But yeah,
or how he becomes a Toxic Avenger. That's another thing. Like, 'cause remember, I mean, my man, like in the ballerina suit, they push him in the pool, and then he falls into the trash truck with all the ooze. It's like, are they gonna give us a different element of how he becomes Toxie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. So what do y'all think out there, man? Are you anticipating this Toxic Avenger reboot release? Let us know. You know. So yeah, this other news we got is pretty sad, man. We lost the director David Lynch, man. He finally passed away at the age of 78, and he died on January 15th. And the interesting thing about this, I remember seeing a few months ago, he kind of, gave us warning. I mean, I think what it was smoking related, man. So it might have been advanced like emphysema, and he basically said he didn't have much time left, and he kind of said, he doesn't regret smoking. He found a lot of joy in it, but also he didn't recommend it. It's bad for your health. And this is a prime example. And it's crazy because he had was working with Netflix on something. He had a project that was about to come out. I think it was going to be a limited series that he never got to do, because he passed away. But what's crazy about it, man, this guy is a really interesting figure in Hollywood, man. He's one of these directors that's hard to pin down. A lot of people, you either love him or you hate him. But at the same time, he has influenced, your favorite filmmaker, man. He's just one of those guys. And he left a big body of films, man. Wild at Heart, Mulholland Drive, Lost Highway, Blue Velvet, things of that nature.
Elephant Man.
Elephant Man might be one of his most accessible, like straightforward, films. And it's just crazy, man. This guy was a guy also that kind of bucked at the system a lot, man. Like I think this guy probably would have made more films if he just got the chance, but because Hollywood is so profit driven and motivated, it kind of leaves guys like this in the margins,
Well, he had an obscure outlook. I mean, like a lot of his films were like classified as like weird or just kind of real like unique. I mean, when you take it away from like Elephant Man, like you said, that was revolving around like a real live deformity and stuff like that. So it had a serious undertone. Dune, it was like that's kind of like Star Wars. But then when you look at like Eraserhead or even Blue Velvet, what I'm saying, it's just like they kind of have a different flow chart that they follow. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of acquired taste. Like what was interesting to me about his career though is that he had something that was wildly successful, like the Twin Peaks series, and that was being shown on mainstream television, and it had captured the nation's interest and imagination You know, it's really wild. So much so that they actually brought it back. They revisited that series. You know, a few years ago, they did a continuation series, man. So it's wild. So it shows me that he was capable of doing the more stuff. Even though I don't think Twin Peaks could be classified as mainstream. Maybe it was just a time where all the quirky people just saw themselves and saw something that they could be interested in being presented. Because it's also a time where we ain't had that many channels to mess around with. So,
that's true.
It's not a, you know.
And I mean, not for nothing, Twin Peaks jumped from ABC, then HBO, then Showtime. So I mean, even though it got a very lengthy run, it wasn't like, it didn't just stay on one platform. You know what I mean? But I've never seen it. You know,
I've seen bits and pieces as a kid. But like, I think at the time as a kid, I was too young to understand, you know, what was going on. Not that it was overly complicated, but just it was more adult subject matters. I think it mostly involved, you know, someone that got killed, and it was like, who killed Laura Palmer? I remember Laura Palmer, the name, and that was like the big mystery. But also, you had all this quirkiness going on, you know, in this town. And I think that was one of his powers as a director, was he was good at, like, you know, just kind of showing the world's quirks, you know, and it's not like he was inventing stuff. He was shining a light on things that we hadn't normally seen. Like I remember trying to watch Lost Highway. I didn't finish it, but now I think I'm gonna get his guy shot on all this stuff just because, man. But there was a moment in there, and I'm like, and it was just a really weird moment. It was like a meeting with these Hollywood executives, and this guy was just like choking, you know what I'm saying, almost choking on his coffee. Took a sip of this drink, and that shit almost killed him. And I'm like, yo, why is this old man even in here? And it's like, and in my mind, I'm like, what does this got to do with the movie? But it's like, I don't know, but this is so Lynchian, just to show this crazy moment and really not give you any context, but just leave it up to your mind to make up what you thought about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you 100%. It's definitely, his movies are, I don't feel like they're geared towards a younger crowd. Like when I was younger, I definitely, you know, the couple Lynch experiences that I did have, mainly like Dune, outside of that, I mean, I couldn't grasp the meaning within the meaning, you know what I'm saying? But just, you know, due to his passing, I was like, you know what? I wanted to test drive Eraserhead, so I did that. I
hear good things about
Friday.
that, but I don't know. I don't know what it is about it though that draws people to it. I got to do some reading on it. But
for me personally, like, I like seeing where directors get their start when they actually, like, where they earn their chops, so to speak. And with him going from short film before this, and this being his first feature-length film, it was wild because, like, you know, it's black and white, so it has that kind of like that older feel. But what really stood out to me is these elongated shots. I mean, you're getting this music, and then these scenes. I mean, they're so stretched out. It's like he's almost like he's a rubber band in each scene, and you know, and it's like you just sit there, and all he's making you do is just think about what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is like, am I really seeing this shit? I mean, this movie defined weird for me, okay? Like, and I've seen some stuff in my day, you know, we all have, but when I'm watching this, it's like, I was like, man, this is so odd and strange, and just the expressions, and there's not a lot of dialogue, and you're just watching this guy navigate through this situation. Pretty much, it kind of started to feel like a Scared Straight video of, like, early unexpected or young pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, he didn't know how to handle it. And it's like so at the, you know, as you're watching him try to navigate through fatherhood and just, you know, all this crazy stuff that's going on around him, and then like the end result, this ultimate like relief, this sense of relief that he feels by ultimately like just killing this little alien baby that was his own. It's like, dude, what? Like, it definitely was a head scratcher, but I mean, I'm glad I saw it just to say that I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, like, I mean, there is one film that I really love though from him, and I definitely saw this at an inappropriate age, and that's going to be Wild at Heart. And I think that story just was real accessible to me. I mean, it's kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde setup in a way. You know, you got this girl. If I'm remembering correctly, I could be wrong. I haven't seen it really honestly since I was a kid, and it's like I think there was this woman, and her parents didn't approve of her, you know, dating this dude played by Nicolas Cage, and they actually sent a dude to jack Nicolas Cage up.
You serious?
And Cage kind of kicks this guy's like basically kills him. You know what I'm saying? In the process, and they go on a run, and then it's just them kind of stay a step ahead of these of their parents and the people they sent at them, and then it's just wild, man. It's just, I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do remember it having like this kind of dreamlike state, this floaty kind of thing. I think Laura Dern was the woman in this, which is interesting because they will work again later on in another film that's kind of big in his filmography. But the craziest part is like I loved it, dude. I got to rewatch that joint. But it's also, I'm also like 11 years old watching Wild at Heart. Watching Wild at Heart. So there's some TNA, some sex scenes and stuff. But it's also got that quirkiness. Nicolas Cage is just a nut in it as well. Which is kind of like I was used to seeing him. I think I watched Raising Arizona a lot around this age too.
Okay.
So like, I like this guy from that movie. So now he's in this and he's playing a totally different character.
Not?
But I definitely do remember that. I gotta rewatch it, sometime just to kind of get a sense of, I think you gave me a copy of the Blue Velvet. I still ain't watched that yet, but people highly recommend that. What I'm saying?
I'm glad you brought that up because I did double back after Eraserhead. I was like, well, since I'm lynching out, I'm gonna go ahead and Blue Velvet it, and I can't say that I understand what all the hype is. I mean, I know it's widely renowned and everyone loves it, but I mean, I was just watching it. I was just like, man, like it's good for what it is, but
is it like tough subject matter?
No, it's not tough subject matter. It's just it's almost like it's kind of like. It seems unnecessary. Like it's a murder mystery, but the reasoning behind it, like this kid comes home from college, finds an ear in a field, and just makes it his personal mission to figure out who the ear belongs to. And on his quest, like he just starts. He has an interaction with this lady, and she's like a singer at in a club or something, and then he just sees some. Like he's hiding in her closet, trying to get to know more about her, and he sees some old crazy shit. This is what's his name? Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Very strange man in this movie. like very, very strange man.
I've heard, and sometimes violent.
Sometimes, man. This dude was super violent and super strange, and I'm just watching it and that kind of it just kind of took me back a little bit. I was just like, I don't know about this. But then as you see, it progresses just like, it felt unclimactic to me.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah. I was just like, I would like to sit down and have a conversation with somebody who actually really holds it in high regards and let them bend my ear a little bit, because maybe I missed something. Maybe I was looking for something that wasn't there. But when I remember I saw it when I was younger, and like you said, the one thing I remembered was the TNA. I was like, oh, okay, this is one of my earlier experiences with films that provided me with that. But outside of that,
Blockbuster, Bob was out here looking at. Shout out to John, man. I see you just mentioned us in the chat, man. Thanks for coming to hang out. See what he was doing while you was at work.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. Cause like I said, man, even if you don't like the work, I think what's dope about some guys like this is they. Their work does influence a lot of the people's work that we do like, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm going to take some time and check out his filmography, give it a rewatch. But, man.
One thing I will say about him, he definitely has he had a knack for setting like atmospheric tone. You know what I'm saying? He definitely he could set a setting out and lay it down and really kind of submerge you in that. In that element, you know what I'm saying? So, he will be missed in the film industry.
Yeah, rest in peace, David Lynch. So the other one, man, sadly, it's another death, man. This time it's a writer, Barry Michael Cooper. He passed away at 66 years of age, and his claim to fame, he was a guy that wrote. He wrote New Jack City, he wrote Above the Rim, and he wrote Sugar Hill, man. And these are very significant films, just in filmmaking in general and the black film experience, man, because I feel like New Jack City was a spark. It's a bit over the top and campy in some regards, but it sparked a renaissance, I think, for Hollywood to get reinvested in in doing black films. It kind of, because Spike Lee was doing this stuff at the same time, but his stuff was looked at as more art housey vibe. But I think what this brought was that blaxploitation kind of commercial essence. It kicked it in gear again, especially when you look at what New Jack City sparked. All of a sudden, you just get a ton of films. Like, I don't think we get the money to go behind Juice, Boys in the Hood, things like that without New Jack City hitting, like it did, and showing that people were hungry still, and audiences would show up, for films featuring, black leads and black stories, you know what I'm saying? So this was kind of a big loss, man, you know what I'm saying, for just film in general,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, it's just to open up the doors for all of the films that preceded New Jack City. I mean, my goodness, all impactful, you know what I'm saying? And, very, very good films, you know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite out the bunch?
Of what? New Jack,
Sugar Hill, and Above the Rim.
Damn, that's a hard pull.
I ask some tough questions over here.
Oh man, you know what? I'd probably be Above the Rim because I'm a sucker for a sports movie. Yeah, I'm a sucker for a sports movie. Yeah,
it's interesting, man, because that's probably my least favorite out this.
Really?
One. I've never seen Above the Rim in its entirety. I've seen pieces. Like for me, it turns me off when my man dunks off the roof in the beginning. I'm like, what is happening? What is this?
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, that just makes no sense.
But Above the Rim is significant, though. There's some good performances. We get a lot of talent that got introduced. Dwayne Martin gets like a big look in this. Of course, I think it's one of Tupac's last roles. He plays his character, and we see Marlon Wayans can actually do some acting.
Yes,
early
Ed Harris.
Wood Harris.
Wood Harris. Wood Harris. And
Ed Harris pulled out the pistol on the basketball
and Bernie
court.
Mac was in there too.
Bernie Mac. Yeah,
remember he was the one that Tupac hits with the razor.
Yeah. So, but honestly, I love New Jack City too. But I think honestly the best one overall might be that Sugar Hill, bro. It's such a different vibe. It's such a serious film too, and and there's some really crazy scenes in that film, man. Like where you're like, man, these dudes is acting. Like him and was that Leon? Dude. It's I haven't seen it in a while. I think I got the double pack with DMX's Never Die Alone and Sugar Hill together. So I watched Never Die Alone too much, man. Now that film's starting to turn on me because it's just so dark and just hard. But I gotta watch the Sugar Hill, man. Revisit that to see what's
definitely. And then you got was it Clarence Williams III was in it as well. He was the pops. He was the pops with the addiction. Wow. Yeah, man, dude. It definitely hit some heavy notes.
Yeah, because he made him tie him up.
Yes, dude.
Wow.
I mean, it hit some heavy notes. That was like, oh man. I just remember my man was like, "This is the flavor that we savor up here, neighbor." Whoa. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that is wild, man.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing, man, because like we said, man, you don't get this stuff without the mind of Barry Michael Cooper, putting this together, and his directions that he worked with, man. But yeah, let me see, what else do I got here, man? Yeah, man. Well, let's get into these trailers, bro.
These trailers,
so I've been going to the movies lately, man. It was a slow start for the year, but I've been seeing some trailers and as well as seeing stuff online, man. So that's kind of cool. But one of the ones that popped up on my radar is this one called The Monkey.
Yes.
So shout out to this film. This film is a film that's directed by the guy who did Long Legs, man. Osgood Perkins. Yeah. So let me look at the story real quick. I forgot to bring this up. Yeah. So this film, when twin brothers Bill and Hal found their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of deaths started. The siblings decided to throw the toy away and move on with their lives growing apart over the years. And this one is kind of, the trailer is really wild, man. It's presenting this stuff to us like it's a kind of like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like with, definitely comedic with this approach.
Oh, shit. Oh. Look at that. I didn't turn my volume down. You see, that's why Core does all the computer stuff.
No, it's all
Let me
good.
figure this shit out.
You gotta go up to the window. No, the other way. You gotta get up. Yeah. And then there's on the screen the little, just click the volume thing, and it'll.
There we go.
There you go.
There we
Man. But that is a cool thing, man. Looking at this trailer, like it seems like you don't see the monkey killing anybody, but it looks like once you disturb it or awaken it, or if you're around it,
Death happens.
Things starts happening. It's almost like a Final Destination.
There you go.
Yeah, like they're dying in these crazy like ridiculous ways, man. So I think that could be cool. It looks like that's the angle that they're going for.
Yeah,
with this.
and I mean, it like you said, it's cool that they're taking the lighter approach, but with James Wan being on the production team, you know you're going to get that horror element. He's going to hit heavy with the horror vibes, and also, I mean, this is a Stephen King short story.
Yeah,
so that
too boosts it up.
That in itself already makes this have a high level of watchability for me personally. But I mean, it just like you say, when you can find a way to mix horror and fun at the same time, it's pretty good ingredients for a good film. You know what I'm saying? Because everything doesn't need to be, jump scares and gore fest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've got Theo James in here. Tatiana Maslany, Elijah Wood stands out to me the most, man. So I'll probably check out most stuff that he's in. But yeah, I'm stoked. I'm looking at the approach to this, man. Is the runtime? It looks like pretty good. Not overly long. So and it's crazy because I did see Longlegs and I wasn't in love with it like everyone else was, man. I feel like it had a lot of flaws, overly long, tonal problems. But I think looking at the trailer for this feels more like the kind of films he should be making. Like I'm wondering, I feel like I probably would have liked Longlegs more if it was with this same kind of dark comedic tone being told the same way versus trying to, outdo Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, and also if it wasn't like, constantly, compared to other films, like, they were comparing it to Silence of the Lambs and things like that. Like, it's like,
it's the scariest film ever.
Scariest film ever. I mean, they set the bar really high for that film to be successful, and ultimately, I mean, like when I saw it, I was just like, it underwhelmed. I mean, it was wild seeing Nick Cage, but he was Nick Cage in it. That's what he does. He screams a lot and makes weird faces.
Yeah, really weird though too. His character choice. I wasn't scared of him at all.
No, not at all.
Like, you look ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like trying to figure out what exactly you are.
Man.
But yeah, another trailer. So I stumbled across this one. It's called Riff Raff, not the rapper. When if you go on YouTube, you get the trailer, and then you'll get a lot.
That is the first thing that came up, man.
Yeah, a lot of him with the pink glasses on.
So I could have played for the Pistons. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly. So, but yeah, Riff Raff. It's going to drop on February 28th, and it had what is this? The Toronto International Film Festival. It premiered there September 6th September 6th, 2024. But they went ahead and because it had high success rate, they want to mass release it in the States. But it's pretty much one of those like comedy mob style films where you know what I'm saying, you got the two guys. Pretty much the synopsis says the life of a former criminal is thrown into turmoil when his old family appear for a long-awaited reckoning. So that doesn't really give you what you see in the trailer. In the trailer, you see Bill Murray and Pete Davidson. They are the mob goons that are pretty much on the mission to find this guy, this family guy, and they break into the house, hold him hostage, and it kind of you get all the stuff that happens with that. But what I think is cool about this one is, like I said, it's got that mob undertone, but it's funny. You can tell. I mean, in the trailer, they're cracking jokes. Everybody's having a good time, and I think that's what's going to make for a good film. Because like to me, when it comes to mob style films, what I'm saying, I either want them to be overly serious or overly over the top funny. You know what I'm saying? Like there's really no tweener for me. And this one, I mean, it has the cast to give you all the all the funny fuel. I mean, like I said, you get Bill Murray, Pete Davidson. Then it also has Gabrielle Union, Jennifer Coolidge, Ed Harris is in there. So, I mean, it for it to be a lower looks like a lower budget, more independent style film that just kind of, was off everybody's radar last year when it premiered. Now it's going to get mainstream.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna see, man. I'm not sure if I'm gonna rush out first weekend for this. I'm gonna have to see some reactions before I could get fully sold. Cause like on one hand, like I love the players in this, man. Looking at this thing and I'm like, yo, this got everybody this dope right now. You get some Bill Murray, Jennifer Coolidge. She's on fire right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess what is that show though? The White Rose, the White Tulip, something? No, White Lotus.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'll give it a shot, man. It's definitely, it's on
one
my
I
radar.
probably won't see in the theater, but when I catch it on stream, I'll sit down.
You know what's funny though? And when I just pulled up the trailer, the first comment at the top of the on the trailer said, "It better have a Riff Raff cameo." That's wild, man. Yeah, shout out to Deborah. She said, I didn't see long legs. It didn't interest me, but the monkey sounds interested. So yeah, that's how I feel too. The monkey sounds more interesting than that. So another interesting drop we got a teaser for the Old Guard 2, and this was a film I really loved that came out. It was a Netflix original starring Charlize Theron, and this trailer doesn't really show us anything. It's kind of like more on-set footage. It kind of shows them, making some stuff. There's some stuff that happens, it looks like at an airport. Another scene looks like inside of a church maybe or building, and they're just kind of, doing a cut, blah, 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 and she's doing her, behind-the-scenes stuff. I think there's one shot that she's like, it's like, yeah, that's a workout. I guess they just finished doing the action scene, and she still remains highly photogenic, bro, as an actress. But which pisses me off even more that they didn't cast her in Furiosa.
Yeah, man.
So out of protest, I'm going to put this on repeat on Netflix in the background when it comes out, because I don't like how Hollywood discards older, women when they get older and they're acting like. And I think what's dope is, I'm really cheering on Demi Moore's success for The Substance.
Yes.
Because that's a testament to why are you throwing these people away that are still highly skilled, highly capable? You know what I'm saying? Like for what? Like what are you getting out of that? You're getting some, person that doesn't have a fan base, doesn't have a proven pedigree. Oh, just because they're younger, they're prettier. Like in exchange for people who could still deliver quality work, man.
There you go.
So I'm highly anticipating this.
Oh yeah, you ain't the only one, dude. Me
I'm
too.
in here. Any news on the story of this? Did you find anything?
No, I didn't find anything outside of what we already know from where it derives from. You know what I'm saying? It's the sequel to the original, and then that came from a comic book series. So, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what about the cast? I know we got
the cast, we got Dave, Charlize Theron, we got Kiki Lane, we got Marwan Kenzari, Luca Morelli, what is it? How do you say this one? Matthias, Shuggin Snarts, something like that. Oh, and then you get Chewy Okafor, or
my man, yeah.
Uma Thurman, Henry Gooden.
Yeah, so, that's what I just saw too. Uma Thurman's in this, man. Yeah, I'm on board, man. I'm really, this is a day one for me.
Yeah, it's got a release date of July 2nd, so you know what I'm saying. That's good summertime release. You know what I'm saying, premiering on Netflix, so you don't even got to leave the house for it. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. I'm all the way in for this one, dude. I like the first one. I wish they wouldn't have waited so long. You know what I'm saying?
You know what though? We kind of went through we still had that writer's strike and just other issues. COVID.
Yeah.
When did the Old Guard 1 come out? That was like 23.
That was like 2022.
I'll find on the phone. I'll just look it up real quick. Old Guard. Yeah, so that one came out in 2020, bro. So think about it. So we had to go through a pandemic too. So that probably what derailed it, man.
Yeah.
So just production, everything was shut down. So honestly, man, it's crazy because we act like that never happens sometimes, and the writer's strike. So a lot of stuff is been on the back burner. I was talking to Cornelius the other day from the FTC film show. And I was like, bro, this year was kind of ass. Like I saw some stuff that I liked, but the volume of films that came out last year, 2024 compared to 2023 was just way different. I felt like we got just more stuff. And this year there were some good stuff, but it wasn't, 2024, it wasn't as much stuff was coming out. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's directly attributed to this strike, man. A lot of stuff was put on hold or just pushed back to this year, so.
Yeah, but they said that Charlize Theron was the one who really pushed for this one, expressing like extreme interest.
I don't blame her.
And she was like, "This was a good film."
It's like, you don't
fun,
want to put me in your little apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's his name? What's the dude to do that movie? Miller. I got something for you. Netflix, get Netflix on the line.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. And then, so I got another trailer. It's a film called Sinners, which this one looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
It pretty much revolves around these two twin brothers that's trying to leave their troubled lives behind. Twin brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan, Smoke and Stack, return to their hometown to start again, only to discover.
Smoke and Stack.
I know, right? Smoke Stack. So I was like, yeah, all right. I was trying to say that without laughing. Only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. And from what you get from the trailer, it looks like, you know, it's going to be in the same vein of Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
In essence, for me, which
that was the thing, because this is like the second trailer. The first one, they just gave us images with no context, so we didn't know what it was going to kind of be about.
The second one kind of gives you a little bit more, and you know, I'm kind of happy that they kind of cracked that eggshell open a little bit, but now I'm not going to watch no more trailers because I feel like all it's going to be now is spoiled. I don't need it to spoil for me. But it looks good. It looks, I mean,
I feel you. There's a certain point where it's like, I don't want more. I don't want to know no more. Like,
well, that's the thing. I mean, you tread a fine line with trailers. Like, you know, you can give just enough, or you can put too much food on the plate. And when they do that, I feel like, or they sell you a dream. They give you a trailer with all the good stuff, and then the movie just completely underwhelms. But I feel like this one, you know, if they do anything else, they're going to take away from key points, or, you know, the stuff that the shock value of it all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want that. I mean, and this one looks like it has a lot to offer. You got a dope cast. I mean, and Michael B. Jordan, you get Haley Steinfeld, Miles Cohen, Catton, Jack O'Connell, a couple other people. Delroy Lindo shows up in there.
What?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and I think that, you know, them setting this in older times, it looks like it's taking place almost in like what?
It looks like down south somewhere. It looked like
down
so.
south
So
in like
are
the-
they?
like the 50s or
So did
something,
they just
40s.
in order to get out their life of crime and turn their life around, they open like a juke joint? That's
Yeah,
what it looks like.
It looks like a juke joint. Yeah.
Because even in the trailer, it looks like the vampires are posing as band. They probably stole these instruments. They probably can't play one note. It looks like they're posing as band, and they're like, yeah, y'all want us to play tonight? You know, just to get. And it's weird because they're doing that thing where it's like you gotta invite them in. I feel like that's gotta. And
exactly.
It's like we're gonna kill you all, and I'm like, yeah, this looks cool, man. This looks like it could be a fun kind of siege film, and it's dope. I like, you know, shout out to Ryan Coogler.
Yeah,
got faith in his abilities, you know.
Absolutely.
And I like when directors, you know, jump around, you know, in genres, man. So I'm definitely really going to be on this one day one, man.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about this, he shot this in IMAX format, man.
Good.
So that's going to pay off. It hasn't been converted or up-res, but I don't know, man. Like, I just saw a film in IMAX, and I was like, man, if this was on regulars, like, it would have probably been the same.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not like, you know, like,
And
I don't
also,
know.
I mean, if they're gonna take
crazy.
if they're gonna take the vampire approach, you know, you gotta kind of, you know, put a little more season on that steak.
They
I mean,
look
we've
seasoned
gotten-
though. They look seasoned.
That's what I'm saying.
I get the vibe that these vampires are a little nasty too. They remind me of
like
the
the
30 days
a
of
night.
30
Yeah,
days
there you
a
go.
night,
Yep,
yo.
exactly.
Like, I don't even, if you're not coming with that energy, I don't even really want to see
like the ones that, you know, they're sloppy eaters.
Yeah.
They got the blood all on their face and shit. Don't wipe it
They
all.
dirty.
No napkins.
They nasty.
Yeah,
They're not doing that aristocratic kind of vampire stuff.
Yeah,
like
no
where
seduction going on.
I'm
They're
a
not
lord,
trying-
I'm the baron.
Your food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so
I'm in for
April
that,
18th, man. That's when it's dropping.
Yeah. Shout out to this one. What is this? Love Hurts, man. So I saw this. I keep seeing this trailer. I've seen it a few times, and this one looks kind of fun. It looks like an action comedy starring Ki Hugh Kwan, and so yeah, he stars as Marvin Gable, a realtor working the Milwaukee suburbs, where for sale signs bloom. Gable receives a crimson envelope from Rose, a former partner in crime that he had left for dead. She's not happy. Now Marvin is thrust back into a world of ruthless hitmen filled with double crosses and open houses turned into deadly war zones. With his brother Knuckles, Daniel Wu from Tomb Raider and Warcraft, a volatile crime lord hunting him, Marvin must confront the choices that haunt him, and the history he never truly buried. So what's crazy about this? It's got my man in here. You know him from his Data from Goonies, man. He had a really good comeback role from what was that film with Everything All at Once?
Oh yeah,
so
okay.
Brought his name
Yeah.
back into the forefront, and he's had a few bit parts since then. But now he's starring in this action film, and I'm totally rooting for him. I'm all in on this. He's got also Marshawn Lynch, plays one of these people that's coming after him. It's also got Mustafa Shakir, Leo Tipton, Riz Darby, Andre Erickson, and Sean Astin from The Lord of the Rings, and Mikey from the Goonies is also in it. So that's dope. That's like a Goonies reunion.
Goon Squad. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm totally in for this, man. Like if you watch this trailer, it looks fun. It's entertaining. A lot of jokes going around and a lot of cool action, and it's funny always to see Marshawn Lynch acting, because I don't think his acting is particularly good because he can't stop not be himself, but it's fun watching him and stuff. Like he was in this film, what was that film with the cheerleaders, man? Man, I can't remember the name of it, but it had Ayo Abiri in it, and he was like their school teacher. And he was just it was so good, man. Like his role is his small role. But yeah, I'm definitely in for this, man. This looks like it's going to be good summertime fun.
I did stumble across one called Locked. This one actually, it looks unique, man. So it's got Skarsgård in it, and he plays a thief that breaks into a luxury SUV only to realize that he has slipped into a sophisticated and deadly trap. So, like, to me, instantly, it made me feel like if Christine had AI abilities, you know what I'm saying? Because he gets in this like it's a super dope SUV, and he's doors on, and then he can't get out, and bulletproof glass and everything. He's like yelling for help, and then the damn car starts driving. But it's cool because the voice of the AI is played by Anthony Hopkins. So I guess he's the rich car owner or whatever. And ultimately just trying to teach him a lesson in a very brutal way, like, don't take what's not yours kind of thing. But it definitely, I don't think it's gonna do too well in the theater, but it looks entertaining, like for streaming purposes. Good enough to talk about, because what I'm saying, we might bring up a Skarsgård film a little later. We might not be so nice to him. So I just want to say something pleasant. But yeah, so it started, like I said, Skarsgård, Anthony Hopkins, got Ashley Cartwright. It's directed by David Yaworsky, and it's supposed to drop in what does it say, March 21st. So just a little springtime fun, something kind of unique and different. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm starting to get that feeling like Skarsgård is starting to get a lot of these kind of roles, like he's almost borderline getting typecasted. Like he's either playing a monster or pleasant dude.
I do like that he's jumping out there and just playing just various variations of characters, though, because like in the mix of that, he also played a deaf guy in Boy Against World, Boy Kills World. You know what I'm saying? So that's. But
then in this, he was also a thief in Villains. So I guess there's a lot of movies that are subject matter is kind of hard to stray too far away from that. But like I said, I think just seeing the concept of it all be cool to check out.
Yeah. So I think this is one of the last ones I got. This one, I saw this in the theater yesterday, the Aldo Knigts, and this one kind of piqued my interest, man. So the story follows two of New York's most notorious organized crime bosses, Frank Costello and Vito Genovese, as they vie for control of the city streets. Once the best of friends, petty jealousies, and a series of betrayals place them in a deadly collision course that will reshape the mafia and America forever. It's got the true story angle, which I'm interested in. It's got the crime angle, which I'm interested in. And it's got Robert De Niro in this, which is crazy. And it's crazy being as old as he is, still acting, still able to turn in great performances. He was great in, what is that? I can't remember the exact name of it, but the film last year that got all the Oscars, the Scorsese film. But
the Irishman, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, not the Irishman. The one after that, man. Dang. He plays an oil baron in Oklahoma. They stole all the oil from the natives. But this film is crazy interesting because he plays both of these crime bosses.
Yeah, I was about to
movie.
say, you get double De Niro.
That's nuts to me, dude. So I don't know, man. The way this trailer was cut, maybe it could have been the way that they cut it, but I'm hyped, dude. They cut the hell out of this trailer. It made this thing look fiery and sizzling. So I'm gonna definitely check it out because I haven't had no really big crime stuff. You know what I'm saying? But also in this film, we've got Deborah Messing, Cosmo Jarvis, Catherine Narducci, Michael Rispoli, Michael Adler, Joe Bacchino, you know, so I gotta stop doing that. Ed Amatrudo, Anthony J. Gallo, just a lot of these guys, man. You know, those you know, the familiar names ended real fast. But I'm really hyped for this, man.
Yeah,
this looks like they might have a real winner. Last thing I want to mention, we did get a screenshot of the upcoming film. Hold up, let me find that. I gotta go back through these notes. I'm sending you a lot of notes, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Happy Gilmore too.
Yes,
we get a screenshot of that, man, and it's crazy because we get Happy Gilmore. It's a shot of him on the green. Adam Sandler, and also Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. That's a lot. Why you got 4 names? Cuz he plays his caddy in this film, so that's going to be coming to Netflix soon. So
I'm on board for that. And then last trailer, the one you actually sent me the trailer for, is called Magazine Dreams.
Oh yeah, I forgot
this
that.
one. I'm a sucker for a true story. Now, you know, this one it follows an aspiring bodybuilder, Killian Maddox, who struggles to find human connection in his exploration of celebrity and violence. Nothing deters him from his freely protected dream of superstardom, not even the doctors who warn him of the permanent damage he's causing himself with his quest. So the thing of it is like this, like I don't really have a whole lot of interest in like bodybuilding, or I never watched the strongman competitions or anything like that. But the reason why this movie, this trailer, why it stood out to me is because it looks like it dives deeper into the psyche of what these individuals do to reach that pinnacle, to reach that point, like how it could, you know, really just stress you out, and especially if you're aspiring to reach the top of that mountain, like you said, you could really the harm that it could cause. You're doing more harm than good if you're not taking care of your body in the right way, and the psychological damage. But outside of that, we get a resurgence of Jonathan Majors, which I think that's is
partially why I sit this
the reason.
too. And,
that is the reason why I'm going to end up checking this out, is, you know, to support his career. You know what I'm saying?
There's going to be a lot of people who are not going to be checking it out because of he's starting it. And that's an interesting thing, because like watching this trailer, like I remember when this was supposed to come out like 2 years ago, and this film was getting crazy buzz. Like, and he was even doing press on it with, you know, some of his castmates, and then the domestic violence incident happened, and boom, you know, he gets dropped from Marvel. This film gets put on the shelf. I think Zeus Network and people stepped. Zeus Network with the baddies and all this crazy. They stepped in with another company to get this film distributed. So I think it's going to have a theatrical release. I don't know how wide it is, but dude, watching this trailer, I'm just reminded of how good this dude is, man. And I'm like, if anybody's going to be able to act themselves back out of social timeout, it might be this dude, dog. And like, and if this film lives up to what this energy that this trailer's putting out here, man, this thing might be one, like it might be a first that we're seeing, man. So I don't know, dude. I'm kind of torn, you know what I'm saying? Because like I was on Majors early, bro. I remember the first thing I seen him in was The Last Black Man in San Francisco. I think I put that on my top year of that list when we were still doing that stuff. And I told you and Corny to check it out. And I've been following this dude ever since then, you know, up until this point. And I've seen everything that he's been in for the most part. So it's going to be interesting, man. Like it's not going to be enough to hold me back from seeing the film, but I'm really curious about how the public's reaction is going to be to this, especially if it holds up, and if this film is as good as this trailer suggests that it's going to be, and it comes out, and it's going to be really curious to see how the public receives it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's going to be really something that I'm keeping an eye on.
They showed it. They showed it at the Sundance Film Festival, January 20th, 2023, and it got like was like I said, it was heavy buzz, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So, they're gonna drop it March 21st, 2025. So I mean, like I said, it's probably, this is another one that I probably won't see in the theaters, but when it streams, I'll check it out just to see, what it's all about. But yeah, like you said, it's wild because of all the controversy that surrounds not the movie, not the subject matter, but the lead role.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was crazy, man. So let me see what else we got on the docket, man. Boom. I think that's about it, man. So yeah, we're gonna talk about what we've been seeing, man. I've seen a lot of stuff. I'm gonna let Bob lead the way, man. What have you seen lately?
The first one that sticks out to me. I saw the new reimagining of Nosferatu, and I was unimpressed. Honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna bag it super heavy. I mean, it did have its moments, but watching that one just made me like the original that much more. It's funny to me how a silent film that leads with, imagery and music and just facial expressions, how a remake just was oversaturated with dialogue. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. I didn't like what they did with Count Orlok. Ultimately, that was a problem for me. Because Count Orlok was, we all know that Nosferatu came from Bram Stoker's Dracula. I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't know, but what they did do, with that film is they reinvented the look of Dracula. They gave us something new, some new nightmare fuel, something that was never before seen, that then would further change the aesthetic of vampires as a whole, you know what I'm saying? Also adding in, the whole sunlight vibe and all that stuff, how that another way to kill them.
Yeah.
But it seemed like with the new one, they kind of took away from that. They gave him a weirdo mustache, which I thought that was just like, why'd you do that? Like, because I mean, his face is one of the things that stood out most in the original, and in this one it's like, dude, the weird mustache, and then he sounds like I know we were joking. He looked like a more slimmed down, taller version of Zangief from Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? Which
Zangief after like a few months of crystal meth.
Exactly. Yeah, after Bender. But and then also the acting outside of the look of Count Orlok, the acting was subpar to me. Like, there was no emotional connection with none of the characters. Like, especially when it came to like Lily Depp's character. I honestly, as I was watching it for the 2 hours and 18 minutes or whatever it was given.
Too long.
2 hours too long. But when I was watching it, like, I really just didn't give a damn what was happening to her. Like her spiral into madness was just, it was not believable. And, then there were other things like that were happening, like, when she was just supposed to be so distraught because her boyfriend was gone and all this other stuff. Oh, I can't live without him. But she just seemed to be, coping and functioning just fine. And then also when you come to this ultimately like love, lust, desire that Orlok had for her, like it didn't hit. Like, I'm like, dude, you just, like, how it's not translating on screen. And for all of those reasons, it really fell short. Like, to me, this one, instead of being a remake of the original Nosferatu, it felt like a reimagining of what we got from the 90s film Bram Stoker's Dracula, the one with Gary Oldman. And
I think a lot of it is a lot of overlap. I think they probably definitely, because some of the shots are recreated shot for shot from the original Nosferatu. So I think he was trying to put his own twist on it, man. I saw this film too in the theater, and I didn't have a good time, man. But counter to you though, I did like Orlok. I like the tip to change him. You know what I'm saying? At least give us something different visually. And I think a lot of it, this film boils down to, it's like you got to kind of justify the idea of even going over this material. Like honestly, I think the Herzog remake I put slightly lower than this Eggers remake, just because it's like, why? You did everything that one did almost shot for shot. You didn't really add nothing to it. This film's in color. That's black and white. This film has audible dialogue. That film had subtitles. But you didn't add anything onto it. This film is 40 minutes longer.
Yeah.
Eggers' film, and you don't really add much to this that improves the film. You know, like I did appreciate some of the extra plague stuff. You know, with the rats. What's the name? Getting some dialogue because I like Willem Dafoe, but it's like in the grand scheme of things, you also gave more dialogue to the friends of our main characters for no reason.
Which that's where
when they were, and I'm looking at them like I don't care about them either. These scenes are just stretching this out for no reason,
Yes.
making this thing more bloated. And I too had the same problem you had. I could not find an emotional connection with none of these characters. So I go back and I actually watched the original Nosferatu after I seen this film that I've never seen before. And there's like in the beginning when we're meeting our main guy, and there's like seconds or a couple minutes where he's with his fiance or is his wife at the time?
I think it's fiance.
He's with her, and I'm like, yo, they felt more like a couple in the silent version than in this modern version that you had all this time, you had all this, you had the actors and all that. So it's like I will give this thing effort. It's probably one of the best looking films you're going to see from 2024.
Yeah.
But it's like I need more than aesthetics, man. And I think Eggers is great at aesthetics. But some of his other stuff, like when I watched The Northman, it's empty spectacle. It seems to me like an inferior version of Conan. It's Conan without the heart. You know, even though they have better production values and a lot of this stuff looks better than what Conan was able to achieve, but I prefer to watch Conan. It just has more of something to say and just more lasting. You know, whereas I think Eggers is great at these visuals, but I'm not sure. But then again, he did The Lighthouse, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
I love the madness and the craziness and the quirkiness of that film. And also, what was The Witch? I like The Witch a lot.
Yeah.
But something, you know, he's losing that. He's not as good as a director when it comes to making those emotional resonance, man. And for a lot of people, he's still got a lot of fans. People are loving Nosferatu. I know a lot of people who love The Northman, and that's fine for them. Things look good, you know. I need more than that.
It needs to feel. I need to feel it as well. And also, I mean, when it comes to the look, I feel like he missed the mark on some of the most iconic imagery that the original provided. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't put emphasis on.
I did like his little shadow hand over the city.
Yeah,
that looked kind of dope.
That was cool. But you know what? He didn't. The usage of the shadow in the original was so much more. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta the shadow of Count Orlok was just as important.
He did, when he's creeping up the steps and doing the little, there was a couple shots.
He didn't hit on it as much. Especially what really disappointed me was the boat. Because when he's riding, you see there's certain scenes on the boat that were very monumental.
I think what's the name kind of skips some boat stuff. They address it like if you look at the original, but it goes quick. And even the Herzog, they mentioned. But then you watch Voyage of the Demeter, and that's a wild film too because I think that film looked great, but it didn't hit for me like that. It was lacking
missed as well.
I didn't care about any of this stuff, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That's interesting. Your take on that. I'm trying to think of. I got to look at my letterbox real quick to pull something else out, man. That I had. Cause I've been active, man. I've been out here in these streets, man. Especially with me trying to get my stuff in for the reviews.
Show,
but of course, the substance, man. I honestly. It's hard, but I probably have that as the film of 2024 for me, man. I love, it's a lot of stuff. I got to really look at my list and examine and juxtapose. But I think that's probably the best thing that we've seen. Just a film that had, the kind of classic throwback horror, body horror vibes, but also was making a statement, man.
Yes.
And to get someone, this felt like to me like when. It's crazy because they're connected. It felt like to me when Bruce Willis did Pulp Fiction. And now we got Demi Moore doing a film that also similarly brought her name back into the spotlight and getting, recognition for it, man. That's crazy to me, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you. The substance was very good. Left a lasting impression, not just with the subject matter, but my gosh, the visuals. That and I like it because it was no CG, all practical effect. It had that classic Cronenberg feel. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I mean, things you just can't unsee, and it's not just like when you get to the climactic moments at the end. It's the other stuff that happens along the way. Like, I mean, just how the substance is even manifested. The cutting through the spine. And just, I mean, this stuff is. It's cringeworthy, but at the same time, you can't turn away. It's just like, I don't want to see it, but I'm going to keep watching, you know, because I don't want to miss. I mean, it's been a while since I had like a film affect me in that kind of way when it pertains to the body horror element, you know. And then, like you said, the subject matter is so real-time relevant. It's right now stuff. I mean, people, look at the amount of things that people do to try to enhance their physical appearance or to try to fit into a prototypical body style or whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to get old, but they ain't found that fountain of youth yet, so it touches on that.
Even the way they toss Charlize Theron to get Anya Taylor-Joy, you know what I'm saying? To trade her in for the, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's like, it's still happening. It's
it happens in the real time, and the way that this film kind of exposes that and makes a whole movie about it, and just does it in a way, like I said, that leaves a lasting impression. That's one. It's not one that I would watch. Like, it doesn't need multiple viewings, but it
I could definitely watch that again.
I would watch it again.
It'll probably be like an annual thing. Not that I'm gonna be like every couple months, but I can see myself.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are some movies that I'll put on once a month, but this is one definitely yearly. But one thing I will say, this is, if I cross paths with anyone who's like, man, I ain't seen that before, I'm like, oh, sit down. We're about to watch it, and we're not gonna eat. You can't eat while you watch it. Okay?
So let me ask you this: what did you think about Den of Thieves?
Den of Thieves. I thought that it was okay for what it was. The plot twist to me was, it didn't hit me like that heavy. It was kind of, I kind of expected it. I think Den of Thieves is good as a stand on its own film. I don't know how they're gonna make a sequel out of it.
I think it was a fun time. Like, it's one of those heist movies that, you know, definitely predictable, but it's entertaining while you're in the moment. Yeah. So Den of Thieves 2, I just saw that, and
okay, so all right, so cool. So you answered, there you go. Answer my questions. See, I'm probably not gonna. I mean,
I would say watch it just for yourself, but don't expect much. I mean, the problem I have with this film is like, it's kind of goes in a roundabout way to, you know, justify its existence, especially with our characters involved. You know, you saw the original, how it ended. So they do this crazy thing to get the thing back in motion. And we going international now, yo. So my problem with this film, though, is like, we don't have a lot of action scenes, man. I feel like some aspects of it have went up and then they left the plot behind. So it's like, we got, this fancy locale. They look like they spent some money. They're shooting in a different country. We got some actors. You know, our characters are getting bigger and bigger scenarios. But you forgot to also give us a compelling reason to give a damn. So a big chunk of this middle film is like character, relationship building and character building, which normally I appreciate, but not for the sake of general movement in your story. Like I can only take so many scenes of our guys being buddy and finding out things about each other.
Because the character dynamic was already established in the first one, right? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably, get that stuff out of the way with a couple exposition scenes in the new joint. So also, like I said, this film is kind of long, bro. It's pushing the 2-hour mark, and we've just got a bunch of stuff in the middle that just doesn't amount to anything. I do appreciate the heist, though. It is a kind of a little different. They're going for more stealthy James Bond, Mission Impossible, instead of just going in with the guns blazing. But it was a rather really dry experience for me, man. Like, it's a sequel that, first of all, never did justify its existence. But now we're going to go back in. Now that you got me here, you got to give us a reason, man. And I don't think it does a good job of that, man. Anybody seen that? Let me know what you think about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
stay away from the den.
Yeah. I'm not.
No den.
Yeah, we didn't like that.
All right. Well, the other movie that I was able to cram in this weekend was a film called Y2K, and yeah, dude. So this one, I think it dropped the end of 2024, but I came across it on a streaming platform. and I had a good time with this one. Like I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was labeled as a comedy horror, so that's what pulled me in. I was like, okay, so we got a dark comedy going on. And and then also it had my man from Big Boy from the Wilder Man.
Yeah, I know he's talking about.
And then Deadpool Part 2. So I was like, all right, cool. He's a wild character. But I like films that can kind of like that put you in that time warp. And this one, I mean, it did that. Like it takes place in 1999, Y2K. And it kind of had that start like the movies that were coming out in the time, like You Can't Hardly Wait, or those
it's kind of like those teenage comedies,
teeny pop, kind of things that were going on at that time, and it kept that energy, and then but when it shifts gears, it does it in such a way. It's like, oh, this is what happened when Skynet wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, man. That's what happens,
like,
man.
I didn't expect it. I knew the horror element was gonna come. I didn't know how, didn't know when, but when it came, I was satisfied. And I liked that this movie it didn't pull no punches when it came to taking people out. Like people that you thought were going to make it to the finish line, they were getting taken out right after the race started, which I thought that was really cool to show that, happen. And just the good time. It seemed like everybody in this film was having just a really good time with what was being done. It's not one that you take serious. I could easily see myself rewatching this one from time to time, just for the sheer enjoyment of it. And like I said, it took me back to a time like when I was in early in high school. You know what I'm saying? At that time, and like I love the part where at the beginning, like the dude walks into the party and everybody is separated in the party by the music they listen to, and that was a thing in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how people were clicked up, was by the music they listened to. I don't know if that happens nowadays, but it was definitely a thing then. And I watched it with my daughter, and she was like, what's going on right now? I was like, oh yeah, that's how everyone was clicked up back in the day. She was like, but what's going on? I was like, by the music you listen to.
It's a party, son.
That's it.
It's wild, man, because that one surprised me, man. It is a lot of fun, man. It is a slasher, but it's also like a fun, like it's horror going on, but they're having a good time. I think what's really dope is the time capsule of it, because it is a period film, so we're going back to that era. The popular music at the time. Fred Durst pops up in this, ironically, man. Also, Alicia Silverstone and what's the name is also here? Rachel Zegler. I forgot to mention her. She's popular now. She's from, I think she did that last Scream movie. I think she was in that. Or she plays Tuesday.
That's
that's the other girl. My bad.
It's Wednesday.
My bad. Wednesday. I said, did I get the name wrong or the
call
actor
it
wrong?
Tuesday. You got the days of the week wrong, bro. And it's and it's what's her damn name?
I know, that's the other one. But Ziegler is popping up in a lot of these little horror things, as you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's becoming a face popular and stuff. But yeah, man, this definitely was a welcome surprise, man. It just has really fun energy and it's fun premise. Doesn't overstay its welcome, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's a short watch.
Time you're getting fatigued. The kills are crazy, man, because it's based on our fear of the time of the Y2K virus going off. So it's fun seeing some of this stuff, and there's some really cool practical kill effects. They're going hard. They went hard with that, man. So I definitely appreciated watching this, man.
Fun watch.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think that's it for my. Let me see anything else real quick. I did see Presence, man. That was the last one I'm gonna talk about, and that was a really interesting film to me. This is done by David Soderbergh. I think that's his name, David, or let me see. But this film is based on this family that moves into this house, and there's a entity in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because this film has really interesting POV footage. My bad, Steven Soderbergh. This is a wild movie, yo. Soderbergh, he's one of my favorites because he takes crazy risks, man. And a lot of his risks are coming with technology and filming. So the interesting thing about this film is he wrote it, directed it, And he played cameraman on this thing a lot, man.
Okay.
Shot this thing on the phone, bro, with this rig hooked to this thing. So immediately I'm watching this, man, and like the opening shot, bro, is one of them long shots where it doesn't cut, man. And there's a bunch of those in this film where I'm talking about like 8-minute sequences, you know, nonstop, but with these actors moving around, the cameras moving around. So what's interesting about this film, we're from the point of view of the entity, you know, and this thing has a crazy twist, bro. So this is wild as hell, man. So, you know, and it's, you know, in this family's house, they just moved in. I guess they want better schools, you know, for their kids and all this stuff. You know, and this film stars, I think Lucy Liu's in here, you know, as our main, the mom, you know, of the family. We also get a short scene with Julia Fox. She's a realtor. Kalina Liang, Eddie Madej, and Chris Sullivan. These make up our family. Wes Mulholland plays, you know, one of the family friends. We get some painters, small cast, man. Really small film. This film mostly takes place in this house, you know, different rooms and different areas. But it's crazy because like the whole time it's kind of like fly on the wall. We're looking at the entity, looking at the family. And it's crazy, man. So here's the thing, the controversy with this film. A lot of people are seeing it and saying that they didn't like it. And I saw it and I was blown out of the way. I went in blind, dude. I didn't even know. I just knew maybe something in the house, but I never watched the trailer. I didn't read anything about it. And the problem is the trailer, the advertising going around, scariest movie of the year. It's not, bro. It's not. Don't do that.
They long-legged it.
They long-legged. That's what they long-legged.
on.
So be truthful when you're advertising your movie, man.
Yes.
You may alienate your audience because I went in with no expectations and I watched it play out. I really enjoyed this film, man. And I will say this, it's more like a family drama with some spooky stuff going in.
There you go.
Really, that's it. It's not like a horror scary. It's a family drama with some compelling family dynamics because I think that was the strong part to me. The mom is kind of, you could tell she favors, you know, her son over her daughter, that kind of thing. The dad's just trying to keep peace, make sure he shows love to all the kids, as well as try to handle this domineering wife, you know, that's just overly, you know.
That sounds scary in itself.
Yeah,
what they need a ghost for.
And those dynamics play out, and then there's a ghost in this house that they just moved in. I had a good time with it, man. It's definitely one of my favorite watches, recent watches, you know.
Did it hit like the Poltergeist?
No, it's different. It's a different kind of film, man. Like
Poltergeist
Poltergeist is trying to scare you and do it. Like I said, this is at its core mostly a family drama, and there's some spooky stuff going in. So just notice that. And if you don't mind watching drama act, and it's not overly long. By the time it starts to overstay its welcome, it's over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. By the time you get, you know, boom, which reminds me of another film I saw yesterday, but I'm gonna say that for the next time we do this. I did see Companion, and I recommend that too, though. That was a good watch. But we're gonna leave this show. We're gonna finish this live by both of us got recommendations for you guys to check out, some classics. You know what I'm saying, that we think every film viewer should see. And I'm gonna start off with a film called Strapped, man. And yeah, this is like, where's Bokeem? He's in here really little, but this is the Canadian version of this, and you can see that signature. I actually got this signed by Michael Biehn. He was a cool guy. Check him out if you're ever at any convention and he's doing signings. Just go holler at him. He's cool, man. But this film, Strapped, is directed by Forrest Whitaker. It stars Bokeem Woodbine, and in this film, you know, we basically got a guy that's, you know, he's in the hood, you know, he's struggling to find a way to make a living, you know, for his family, you know, and his girlfriend actually gets caught up in some crimes. She's pregnant. So in order to raise up bail money, you know, he takes up with his friend and decides to help him sell guns, man. You know what I'm saying? And in the process of that, you know, he gets on the radar of this detective played by Michael Biehn in this movie, you know, on the cover, and things kind of go from there, man. And what I like about this, man, I feel like this is one of those films that got made because of the success of New Jack City. Shout out to Barry Michael Cooper, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, this was dope, man. I think this first premiered on HBO. They snatched this up back in the day, so maybe out under Warner or something like that. But you can find this streaming right now on YouTube, a solid copy if you can't, you know, get your hands on this or whatever. Because I don't know if it's available for purchase on the digital stuff. But what's dope about this film, man, it kind of opened people's eyes to the gun problem in America, man. And not only the gun problem, you know, there was always that problem like, yo, where are all these guns coming from? And this actually kind of showed you what was going on and still continues to go on. Whereas, you know, you've got people from New York City, the Chicagos, the Washington, D.C.s even, you know, who would go out to neighboring states with more relaxed gun laws, buy those guns there and go back to their cities and sell them, you know. So it's like, damn, that's where they're coming from, man. And it's cool because it shows us like a lot of sides of that. It shows us the law enforcement side with Michael Biehn's character. And it shows us the dealer side with this dude who looks like Bill Maher. You know what I'm saying? It shows that this guy's just operating with immunity. He doesn't care. He just wants his money. So he's going out getting these guns, and it's loopholes that these guys working with. So it was dope to see that being portrayed in this. This film also brought us Bokeem Woodbine, you know, who will become one of our greatest actors, to be honest, man. I love this dude. Like, to see him go from this to showing up in Fargo, the series, getting nominated for that, man, and just to be popping up stuff now where you're like, bro, this dude is good. His Queen and Slim role was crazy, man. He was like one of the only things that justified that movie. Like watching him, you know, doing his thing as the uncle that they ran into, man. But yeah, man, I definitely. And what's her name was in here too? I forgot her name. The one that played his girlfriend, because she showed up on something recently, man. But yeah, man, this film is definitely one that I think everyone who's a fan of classic films should see,
it's a good
check
movie.
out. It's good, man. Like I said, if you can't get you a copy of this, go watch it on YouTube. It's on there, uncut, unedited, you know, and it just brought a lot of just cool stuff. Like, it wasn't, like, I feel like some of the stuff that gets inspired, like from the New Jack City era, we got a lot of just rinky-dink crime things that just, all right, we can get some black dudes, some gangsters, and we can make some money. Like this film's really, it has something to say. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it stand out for me, you know?
Definitely. I remember when that dropped, it was an HBO film.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I remember when it premiered.
Remember they had the Neo Geo? I used to think the Neo Geo wasn't even real. Then I seen, you know, it was wild, man, to see it actually for the first time in a movie. Man. And it just told me that the only way I could ever afford one is if I sold some guns.
Exactly.
Man.
So, my recommendation is on a lot lighter note. It's Men at Work, and it was actually written and directed by Emilio Estevez, and it stars.
Oh, he directed it? I didn't even know that.
It stars the controversial Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, Keith David, and then you got the dude from. He was in a movie called Rockula, which was probably one of the worst vampire movies I ever saw in my life. Rockula, back in the day. But this is just a fun watch. Like I remember I watched this movie a lot when I was younger, just because of the absurdity of it all. It just it follows the two trash guys. You know, Emilio and Charlie Sheen. They're these. I don't know if they're brothers or friends, but they're your underperforming trash guys, always joking around. They don't like their jobs. They actually want to, you know, save money and open up a surf shop. And you know, Charlie Sheen, as he does, he's kind of creeping out in this movie as well, and he's window watching his neighbor across the street, and he sees her getting into an altercation with a man, and he decides to shoot him with a pellet gun. And that just takes this story down a whole nother level. They end up finding the guy in the trash can the next day, find out that this dude was running for senator or something. And it takes a little bit of a funny approach on like political nonsense, but even more than that, the stuff that people would do, like when it comes to like major companies, corporations, when it comes to like dumping their pollutants, corruption, and you know, toxic dumping and all this other stuff. So I mean, they try to have like these serious undertones, but it's all done in a funny way. And then, you know, my favorite character is Keith David. He is actually the brother-in-law of the boss of the trash company, and he's like this war vet, just, you know, straight shooter. You know, he don't take no stuff, and he because the two keep, you know, fooling around, he ends up the manager assigns him to go on a ride along with them to kind of tighten them up. And this is the day that they find the body, and then all this craziness. I mean, it's just. Like I said, it's a good time. It's a fun ride. A lot of jokes. It's definitely one of those time capsule films where you're right back into the early '90s with the look, the attire, everything that's going on, the jokes even. But I always have a good time watching it. It's definitely, it's not one, like I said, you don't take it serious by any means. And regardless of how you feel about Charlie Sheen and his antics, you know what I'm saying? It's still entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keith David is hilarious in this
He's
thing
hilarious,
too, man. He's a great character, man. He was on a wave, dude, and at this time, man. Like he's got some of my favorite performances, and it's weird because I can't think of a movie where he's the main guy. There might have been some stuff recently that's coming out where I think there was one movie about him and this dude having a conversation in a coffee shop, and that's like the whole movie. But it's like where he's like the main. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This is mine. This is Keith David.
Second character, always. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's crazy, man. That some actors, that's their lot in life. They got to be, the side guy.
But he always excels at it. So yeah.
Yeah, but I guess now he does have his TV series that's been running for a while. That I think is the Greenleaf, So that's kind of some kind of comeuppance for him.
Well, and then he was the lead voice actor in Gargoyles.
Yeah, that too, man. Yeah, and I think they're bringing that back, aren't they? They rebooting Gargoyles. Yeah,
they need to.
I think that's coming back because they put it on Disney Plus now. But I think there's talks that's coming back, dude.
Yeah, they need to. Shit.
Well, they say a live-action reboot of the '90s Disney animated series Gargoyles.
Now, do they mean live action like with real people, or are they just going to digitally enhance?
They might have digital gargoyles, but it'd be cool if they got the same voices back. But they say James Wan is involved in it. Gary Duberman will write this. They said the reboot will center around Goliath and the last of a heroic race of gargoyle warriors. Seems like it's the same shit that we got from the cartoons.
I was like, are you reading the news synopsis or the one on the back?
But I'm wondering if this is going to. No, I'm reading the news from articles, but I'm wondering if this is going to be. It says live action reboot. I wonder if it's going to be a series or just a one-off. So it says live action series.
Okay, I'd be happy with either or.
Yeah, and it's going to be Disney Plus. Dang, that's going to be crazy, bro.
I mean, as long as they do justice by it.
I think you can do justice, bro. Imagine Brooklyn looking like just all these characters. That'd be crazy.
I always liked Little Lex because he was the only one that didn't have wings on his back. He had like the flying squirrel wings. I thought that was cool. Lexington.
Yeah. He couldn't get up out of there though the same way. He couldn't lift nobody up.
No, he was definitely he was all for stuff. I mean, he was the littlest one too. He was the runt.
Yeah, man. But I think that's it, folks, man. We're going to be out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. And honestly, we're probably going to do this. I mean, we took this, we're lucky we got this break between football. So maybe after the Super Bowl, we'll come back and try to do this thing on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not weekly. Well, maybe we could probably finagle a bi-weekly schedule. You know what I'm saying? Until things get more busy. But yeah, man, I have fun doing this, man. Yeah. We'll keep updated and posted, and we'll be back next time, man. You can catch us at here, man. Subscribe to the channel. Catch us at Classes of Cinematics on Instagram, at CO Cinematics on Twitter, and we're on TikTok. Just look up Classes of Cinematics because I'm not sure exactly how the name is spelled on there. And you catch me at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram.
And it's Bobby Blockbuster. You can catch me on the regular film review show, or you can catch me right here live when we do this.
Yeah, we out of here, folks. Go do something with your lives.